Jordan, why yeah? It's a big question, Masood. Do you want to be a bit more specific? I guess yeah, you can start from maybe from the start. What made you accept Islam? Okay. I'm gonna start from way back before I even knew anything about Islam. I was raised, I would say, in a non-religious household. Um, my grandma was Christadelphian, so they believe in a that Jesus is the Son of God, but he is not God himself.
Yeah.
So I was raised around that. I went to a Christadelphian school, where some of my relatives were the staff members there. And yes, so I did have a little bit of insight into Islam, as my dad he is Muslim. So when I was young, I would just remember him praying and whatnot. But when I was 9 years old, there was a little bit of just conflict, and so my mum and dad parted ways, and I didn't see my father's side for about 7 years. So anything to do,
Included your father? Your father as well?
what's that?
Your father as well?
Yeah, this is my father's side, yeah, and my father just completely out of the picture. So I was raised from my mum's side. My mum herself, she's atheist, so she doesn't believe anything. So I wasn't raised in a religious household or anything. I would say I was atheist myself. I didn't really give thought to religion or anything for a very long time. I did look into the Bible for a little bit, but that was probably like for 2 days, and then I just closed the book and just went back on with my normal life. So yeah, during that time, I just was just like a normal Aussie kid, just playing sports, whatnot. And up until about 16, I had some things happen in my life. Bit of struggle. My mum went through a difficult time. I won't go into too much detail. It was difficult, but it was probably only like that for 2 years. And then she got better. And around that time, I looked into, because I remembered my dad's side. And yeah, I remembered my dad's side, and I just looked for my uncle. I tried to search him up on social media, and I found him, and I sent him a message to just reach out, hey, like, how's it going? And then he sent a message back saying, hey, like, it's been a long time, what's been going on? And from there, we just organized like a time to meet.
At what age did your father's family leave you? At what age? So
I
was the last time they saw you before?
About 9 years old.
9, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because of course they would be so surprised. A 16-year-old teenager.
Yeah.
He's messaged them about what's happening with them. But yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite a while, like 7 years, and that was probably during my developmental stage. So from 9 years old till 16, that's when, during that age,
You change.
you develop a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we met back up with him.
Let's go.
And yeah, we met back up with him. And that's when I was kind of exposed to Islam, I guess. I would see them pray, and even sometimes I would just join in with them. I don't know why I was doing it. I just felt like I had to join in. You know what I mean?
That's your fitrah.
Yeah.
Come in.
Subhanallah, yeah. And I had one of my aunties who was Muslim from my dad's side, who recommended me to start going to classes, learning more about Islam and whatnot, because I was really getting into it. Because I will step back a little bit, actually. I was interested in the signs of the Day of Judgment, because I thought to myself, like, there's a Day of Judgment in, like, the Bible, in the Christian, and then I heard from someone that there's a Day of Judgment in Islam as well. So I wanted to know, okay, well, what's, like, the Day of Judgment in Islam? And from there, I heard videos I looked into videos such as like Islamnet and channels like that, just about the signs, minor signs of the Day of Judgment, major signs, prophecies, and just from hearing those, like there's that famous one where the Arabs will compete in tall buildings, the Bedouin Arabs.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself at the time, like, subhanAllah, like this is Dubai.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Burj Khalifa. So like these are things I was like wow, like what's going on here? You know? And then I just kept on watching videos on YouTube about Islam and whatnot, listening to the Quranic miracles, linguistic miracles. I was like, surely this can't be from a human, you know? And then I was telling my auntie, like, oh, like these are some interesting points in Islam, like I've noticed, you know, like, and she gave me like a bit more information what Islam is about. There's only one God, that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the last and final messenger. And then she recommended me to go to some classes. So I went there, and it was actually the classes from the Islamic Center of WA, the Gateway to Knowledge classes.
SubhanAllah.
So I went there, I learned a bit more information, and I remember Sheikh was there, and he told me, like, you know, are you interested in becoming a Muslim? And I thought, yeah, you know, all these points, like, you know, I want to become Muslim.
SubhanAllah.
And then he told me, like, oh, what's holding you back? And at the time I was like, oh, nothing really. I just it could have been shaitan, you know, just like, are you sure you are you sure you want to convert, you know?
SubhanAllah.
But alhamdulillah, the next week I converted.
Okay.
Inshallah.
So sorry to cut you off, but how was that week like? Because I know, like, was there like a moment where maybe you sat down and you really thought of, like, maybe you put all your, like, everything together, like you just gathered all your thoughts and, like, you really sat down, maybe talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't know, did you have that sort of moment in that week, or was it you just got straight into it? Because I know a lot of people, when they do revert, it's just they just ask the question. Like, you've seen it on street interviews, they just get asked the question, okay, do you believe in it? Like, yeah, I do, and then it's straight up. But you waited for a week, so how was that week like?
I'd say it was like probably the few days leading up to it. It was just like a lot of nervousness, pressure. Well, not pressure, but like, you know, but I was confident as well because of learning all these things in the religion. Like, I was confident in it, but it's like, damn, I'm actually going to do this,
Right,
you know, and like, these are the things I'm going to have to do afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, pray and whatnot.
Yeah.
And what was, you know, you obviously went to a few classes before taking your Shahada. So what made you, after the first class, want to come back to the next one and the next one and the next one?
To be honest, my auntie, she motivated me to keep going to classes. You know, like, even she would offer to pick me up to go there, just to keep going. And also the environment was nice too. It was a very, like, how can I say, casual environment. You know, you can go there, you can ask questions whenever you want. There's no like there's no pressure. You know, it's just you go there, you learn any questions you want, you know, they're answered.
Did you feel like, obviously the classes is generally catered to Muslims, the people that attend are mostly Muslims. Obviously you coming in not being Muslim, what was your perspective? Did you feel like an outsider? What did you think of the people there, your interactions with the Muslims?
I don't think I felt like an outsider. I wouldn't say that, because everyone I talked to, like the brothers who were there, very friendly, easy to get along with. So yeah, and the subjects itself were not too deep.
Yeah.
You know, they were quite basic. You know, so
Confusing.
Yeah, they weren't very confusing.
Yeah, it's just
It was good in that aspect. And yeah, I think just the people really had an impact on me.
Yeah. I think, yeah, for a lot of people, the Gateway to Knowledge class was a start for a lot of people. and obviously you're one of the stories, but there's 1,000 other stories that obviously we don't get to hear. I think that class really launched people into the da'wah. They launched people into learning about Islam or taking further studies and so on. But after obviously taking your shahada, what was your life like after? What changes did you see coming into your life?
SubhanAllah, I won't forget this. The first week of me being Muslim, SubhanAllah, I was the most happiest I've ever been in my whole entire life.
That's
You can even ask my colleagues at work,
Yeah.
like, why are you smiling so much? You know, I was just beaming, like, you know,
SubhanAllah.
I know it's just the feeling of finally knowing, like, why I'm here, what I'm supposed to be doing, and that initial, like, iman, you know, it's SubhanAllah, I was just jumping over fences, bro. It was crazy. It felt like as well, I wanted to do good deeds. You know, it wasn't difficult for me to do good deeds. It was like
Yeah.
I'm being pushed.
Because now you have a
to do it.
reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like SubhanAllah, it was crazy. That first week of me being Muslim.
SubhanAllah. And apart from obviously the first week, for the next couple of weeks, for the year, 2 years, first, when was it? What year was it that you took your shahada?
It was the beginning. It was January 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah. So not too, it's not been too long since then. But what was the a year or two after that? You had that very high iman boost. What did you notice after that?
I just noticed, like, the more, I think gaining knowledge was very important for me in terms of, like, where my direction went as a Muslim.
Yeah.
Just always gaining knowledge about the religion, you know, and also then you know what you need to be doing as a Muslim in the correct way. But yeah, I think just constantly, little by little bit, just gaining knowledge and whatnot.
Yeah.
Was very good for my path as a Muslim.
Yeah. I think, subhanAllah, I would say, obviously taking a shahada in 2022 and sitting here with us now in Adelaide, and subhanAllah, you've seen the project, the Build Your Centre project, grow over time. So forgetting Adelaide aside, forgetting this road trip aside, seeing the project, the Build Your Centre project, you came into it when it was very fresh. I think we just purchased the land at that point in time.
Yep.
So obviously being part of the centre and attending the classes, what did you think about the project at that duration of time?
Well, subhanAllah, like, learning more about it, knowing that it was like the first multi-purpose Islamic center, made it very unique for me. And it made me want to be something to be a part of, you know, especially it being the first in WA. There's not much of an opportunity that comes around, you know, in your life where you can be part of something that's brand new, you know, never seen before in that
First.
location. Yeah.
SubhanAllah. And you've obviously seen from purchasing the land to the building, you were there on the day that we were doing the cleanup of the first event on the land. Being there, explain the feeling that you had doing the cleanup. I think this is the first event ever on the land. Nothing had even been done yet. I think we're just a few weeks away from demolition inside. What was that feeling like?
It just felt good being able to be part of something, and seeing the fruits of it now. You know, from that day, from sweeping up all the demolition site and everything, to seeing the masjid almost opening, very close to being opened. You know, it's so fulfilling to see that you've been a part of something, and I ask Allah that He accepts all of our efforts.
I mean,
But yeah, it's a great feeling to be part of something like that, and also seeing the community, especially on that day.
Yeah.
Everyone coming, you know, this is for them.
Yeah.
Inshallah, and also our next generation.
Inshallah. And now just jumping forward now, to me I still find it a bit crazy, subhanAllah, because I only found out about the year of 2022. That's when he took his shahada. For me, in my mind, I thought it was like a lot longer before that.
Yeah.
So how does someone go from, what makes someone go from, okay, taking the shahada in 2022 to now we have this massive initiative of hopping on a bus with about 20, 30 people.
Just
And-
3 years after.
Yeah, and then going on a road trip for about 20 days, 25 days, with, you can call them strangers. Obviously, you know them, there's a brotherhood, there's a strong brotherhood, but in the end, we are technically strangers. But how do you go from one end of the spectrum to now doing an initiative that very few people have chosen to do? How does that work? I'm still subhanAllah, yeah.
Honestly, all I can say is Allah made this all happen.
Allah.
Allah made this all possible. Like nothing, all of this would not be possible without Allah.
SubhanAllah.
And I'm very grateful that I get to be a part of this. And like you said, there's not many people. There's 30 of us on the bus.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, I think there's around 100,000 Muslims in Perth.
Yeah.
So to be part of 30 of those Muslims doing this trip, subhanAllah, it's such a great blessing.
SubhanAllah. Yeah. So, what made you decide to come on the bus? Obviously, you're someone that you have work, you have a family, you've got, mashallah, a young child. What made you decide to come on the bus?
Well, the thing is, alhamdulillah, I'm grateful that Allah gave me Islam in the first place, and I thought to myself, on this trip, this is something for Allah's religion. This is something the least I can do to be grateful for Him guiding me to Islam. This is the least I can do.
SubhanAllah.
And obviously that opportunity, this is something that's, you could say, once in a lifetime opportunity.
It's a lifetime.
All these things, it's just, I have to go,
Yes.
I have to do this.
I think that's something, I guess, like us, we take, I guess, for granted,
Yeah.
that we have the beauty of the religion, and we're the chosen few that accept Islam. And I don't know, sometimes maybe we don't think of like where we should be grateful for this. We take it like, I was born Muslim and that's it.
Like I've noticed that, like I think everyone's noticed that one, if you would compare a born Muslim and a revert, subhanallah, a revert they're doing a lot better because of the fact that we take it for granted. We this is what we grew up with. Like subhanallah, they had to strive for it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then did give them the religion, but still they had to strive for it. They had to figure out they had to go against what they grew up with, and subhanallah, yeah. And yeah, exactly. And for someone like you who did do that and then also come on this trip is subhanallah, like extra in my opinion. Like,
But I feel like even Muslims themselves, they have to find their way to the religion.
I was actually gonna
They I hear that from a lot of them.
yeah.
But that's, I remember when I converted and when I finally found, the reason for my purpose and whatnot, one of my thoughts is like, subhanallah, born Muslims, they have this, like, subhanallah, they already have this, like, what?
Yeah.
I think some who grew up correctly, they don't have to go through that. But I think especially those who live in the West, it's like a push and pull. They're always fighting their nafs or what they grew up with and what their parents taught them, and it's always a battle. But so I'd say that that's the case over here. But alhamdulillah.
So what's your what's it been like for you on the bus? What's it been like for you Ramadan on the road?
SubhanAllah, I knew it was going to be a challenge. It was going to be hard, but I feel like it's already exceeded my expectations. SubhanAllah, we've had a few challenges along the way,
Ups and downs.
but also the amount of stuff that I've learnt, even from now, I don't even think we're halfway through the trip yet.
No.
Even just from now, like the amount I've learnt, the amount I've seen, it's subhanAllah, it's so valuable. You won't be able to learn these things if you weren't on the road trip.
Yeah. And what's it like sharing a house? We're about, for the viewers at home, we're about sitting like maybe 2 minutes away from their house. We decided to set up on the nearest park.
Yep.
What's it like sharing a house with, I think you're in there with like 10, 15 people sleeping on the floor? What's it like sharing a house?
It's like hearing a lot of snoring.
It's true.
Me and Jordan are roommates.
Nah, but alhamdulillah,
Whoa. He's not talking about me.
yeah, it's mainly coming from that end.
There's no, nah, it's not. But just for reference, we were roommates. But yeah, subhanallah. Yeah. How'd you find it?
No, I think that makes it fruitful and very enjoyable is having brothers who are always reminding you of the religion as well. You know, like some at the house, even just last night, we just had a little sit down. We all had tea after taraweh and was just talking about the religion. You know, like these are the things that you look back on and, you know, say alhamdulillah, like for these types of brothers.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. And now, just to encapsulate everything, and obviously you're here for a purpose. You're here under the banner of the Build Your Centre project, you know, trying to build and trying to fundraise for the first multi-purpose centre in Perth. For you, what's your vision from, obviously, all your experiences from before you're Muslim to taking your Shahada to a few weeks after that Iman boost you had to coming on this road trip? What's your vision for the Build Your Centre project?
Just to serve the Perth Muslim community and wider, you know, giving them somewhere like other people like myself, how I used to be, you know, wanting to learn more about the religion, you know, just somewhere where people can come together and just be the Muslim central hub for Perth, inshallah. That's my vision for the centre.
And how do you think, obviously, you being a revert
father
and your one story of thousands, so how do you think the centre would help reverts or help non-Muslims?
Well, like I said, the centre it's got a cafe, a gym, classrooms, retail store. I feel like it's a place that feels very comfortable for everyone to come through, you know. Yeah, and just the fact that we'll be able to do more classes and whatnot, inshallah. And yeah, I just feel like it opens a whole lot more opportunities for people to come and learn about Islam, and even through social media, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure we'll be hosting a lot more events now, inshallah, that we have a centre. So that's just more opportunity for people to see that.
And I think, subhanAllah, like podcast aside, I think throughout this trip, I think we've like grown a bit closer. I would say like I'm naturally a reserved person, and I would say you're naturally a reserved person.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
So, alhamdulillah, subhanAllah, just to see that, you know, obviously us sharing stories on the bus that we wouldn't have, subhanAllah, had the opportunity to share with each other on the bus. I think, subhanAllah, we've grown closer, and I really do appreciate, you know, you coming on the trip and us sitting down and talking, not just on this table, but on the bus, in the houses. I think we've grown closer. I think us as brothers have grown closer. So yeah, wallah, I really appreciate, you know, you being here. I think you've helped us a lot on this trip, and inshallah.
Likewise, I appreciate all the brothers who are involved in this initiative. You know, subhanAllah, there's a lot of effort that's being put into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's from my end, I appreciate everyone as well.
Alhamdulillah, I think at the end of the day, everyone has something to bring. And, you know, it might be big, it might be small, but everyone's got something to bring. And I think, yeah, look, at the end of the day, when we're going back on the bus, inshallah, we've raised enough money to complete the project.
Inshallah.
And when we go back, alhamdulillah, we'll go back with the memories we created on the bus, and inshallah, continuing to grow closer. But just to wrap it up, did you have anything to say?
I wanted to go over that one point, over the fact that you are a father, and you do have I think almost 2 years old, 2-year-old boy,
1 year old.
1 year old.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna ask, how do you see your son and your children and the younger generation in the new multi-purpose center, and how do you think, how much of a difference do you think that will make for them? As you know, you grew up in an environment where, subhanAllah, all of us, we all grew up in an environment where we are struggling with different sort of morals and values. So how do you think the multi-purpose center is going to do for your children and the younger generation?
Well, I feel like it's going to be, inshallah, great for their identity as a Muslim.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a Western world. You know, we go to the shops and whatnot, so we live, you know, in a very Western society. You have all these Western influences and whatnot. But having a center that has all these things, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
you know, you'll be able to spend a lot of time there and around Muslims. You know, I feel like that's great for the younger generation, just to hang around there and other Muslims and learning about the deen. I feel like it's going to be good, inshallah, for
Inshallah.
for their identity.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Well, just to wrap it up, Jazakallah khair for joining us on this table, on the trip. And inshallah, we've got, as you said, we're not even halfway through.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot more days to go, a lot more weeks to go. But Jazakallah khair, and inshallah, we'll continue going.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, Allah.
Barakatuh.